Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? This is Adam Bogard, and you might notice something interesting about this basketball court here that I'm playing on. All right, now after you've seen such a thing, you're probably wondering why I might be out here playing basketball when there's no basketball or when there's no backboard and there's no rims. Well, it comes down to a factor on whether someone has the desire, okay? Because when you have an internal desire to go out there, regardless of the environment, regardless of the circumstances in which you are placed in, right? Now, yes, during the COVID-19, Ohio has uplifted, opened a lot of parks and has the, ban from moving to different places uplifted, but yet they still haven't put on backboards. But the difference is most people aren't going to the park, period. But the ones that do, right, they have the intention to do something like run, play basketball, or come out here, play tennis, or go to the baseball fields, right? Once they come and see that there's no backboards and no rim, they're done. It's over. They give up. They go back home. Or they just have the idea in their mind that there's no backboards on this court, so there's no point of even going there, okay? But here's the difference, right? Am I above Michael Jordan, who started on a freaking milk crate, on a pole, attached to a pole? No, I'm not above Michael Jordan, okay? I never was. Although we do have a very similar burning desire within us that is the point of what I'm saying is why I'm out here. Is because when I have a desire to do something, right? So this thing that burns inside me, it tells me I need to move. I need to do. Can't just sit around. When the day's done, the markets are closed at 4, and I have some free time. Well, I wanna go out in that sun after it's just rained earlier, right? So I've been out here 3 hours, right, putting in the work. All right, there's no backboards, but guess what? The important thing is that in order to become great at something, there's a whole spectrum that creates a single game, okay? So I'm out here working on dribble drills. I'm out here working on the form of my shots. I'm out here making sure my eyes are focused up while I'm dribbling. And that way, in the game, I have a better field of vision, right? Like LeBron or Magic, right? So these different things that the unsexy things about the sport, about the game that most people do not work on is where all the 99% of the juice is. That's what makes the game, okay? I saw an old 90-year-old lady out here, and she was, we both smiled at each other and, said, like, hey, how you doing, right? Gave the head nod, but I was dribbling up and down the side doing drills, and she comes over and says, hey man, hey young fella, wow. Most people wouldn't be out here, much less working on the dribble drills. So basically I commend you, congrats. I'm like, yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. And most people don't understand that the reason I'm over there is I said, hey, don't worry, it'll transfer into the game when there is a backboard, right? And she's like, yeah, I don't know how, but sure, you do that. You go ahead, right? And so I went back to what I was doing, right? But, then there's other people in the park running or passing by. There's kids going to meet their friends, or there's houses back here with neighbor kids bouncing on the trampoline, people coming to walk their dogs. And what you have to understand is about the difference between a desire, inspiration, and motivation. Motivation is BS, bullshit, horseshit. It's freaking batshit. It's nothing, okay? It's BS, all right? It's all forms of BS, all right? Because motivation is simply a spark, okay? It's unsustainable. You need a continuous series of sparks to keep you doing or to go out there and pursue anything, right? To come out here when there's no backboards and find the value in that, and to go work on dribbling and, form the shot or everything within the whole game, that takes more than motivation. It wasn't motivation that got me out here and kept me out here. It was burning desire. And it's also that one iota of inspiration. Inspiration is sustainable because it is then can be converted into long-term sustainable fuel through your desire, your internal desire, okay? So that one iota of inspiration from Michael Jordan, knowing that this mother effer performed and practiced, got his start to the #1 ball player to ever do it in the NBA. He started with the freaking milk crate. So I'm not above that. So I come out here, and then guess what? What I maybe didn't understand in my younger years, as always being #1 out there in the basketball field, being one of the best in the world in baseball, right? What I didn't understand is what I can look back on now in my young 20-some years and understand that all these people that see me out here, how many people in their communities are out to a park playing basketball when there's no hoops, there's no backboard, there's no rim. Okay, maybe it's the statistic. It's 1%er. It's a guy. It's one person out of 1,000 that might do that. I mean, say if it's a town of 10,000, I'm the only one out here. That means my one iota of inspiration, my day out here, is now influencing all these kids that come and see. Man, and I just open their mind and let them, think what they're gonna think. But some are gonna think I'm crazy. Others are gonna say, "Wow, great! You're going out there and working on the dribbling drills and doing this thing." I mean, most people don't do that. See, people get the idea they can see, and when they see something, it's a great example for them. It's inspiration for them. All right. And when I was a young kid, and I'd go to the camps, or I'd go to the first day of practice, and I'm already 100 times better than every single person on the team. Or when I started in basketball, and I'm 1,000 times better, because what they didn't understand is that my desire, burning desire, drove me outside when I didn't have a basketball hoop, and when I didn't have food to eat in the house, and when I didn't, have a dad or a mom, motivating me, pushing me to go do anything. It was my example, my father working 120 hours a week, and the fact that I never got to see him, and understanding that, I'm jealous of all these other kids. I get fuel in the form of the fact that I lack something that all these other kids that I'm competing against have, which is food, which is going on vacation, which is seeing their mother and father, or having a non-abusive relationship with their parents, right? So it's that drive that created a burning desire, the same akin to all the greats, most of the greats, right? The Michael Jordans, the LeBron James, the Russell Westbrooks, Kanye, okay? So when I was a kid, I didn't understand, but I was inspiring the kids that would eventually be on my team, or who were going to try to, get on the basketball team. I was inspiring them and their parents, who maybe were against me because their kid's great and he's got to get more minutes, right? But I inspired them to be better. Because when you're going to play with the best, you're going to play with MJ, Scottie Pippen, you got to freaking put in the work. If you're going to play with Kobe Bryant, Shaq, you may be the greatest of all time. And no one could touch you. You're dominating. But here's the thing. You're not